The time in Central Africa is exactly 0924. Lovely good morning to you and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Chatback right here on your number one radio station, Radio Christian Voice. My name is Angel Kasavo. And also a reminder that this conversation is live on Facebook. You go to your Facebook and search for RCV News. RCV News is a platform where we post everything current affairs. So come through and let's get interactive. The number is 0956 200 490 0956 200 490. That's the number that you can get in touch with the studio for your contributions and questions. This morning we do look at a very interesting topic altogether. We are looking at the topic SME development empowerment in Zambia since 2021. This is our topic of discussion this morning. SME development empowerment in Zambia since 2021. And I'm privileged to be joined in studio by the Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, Honorable Elias Mubanga. Honorable Minister, good morning and welcome to Chatback.
Thank you very much, Angel. It's an exciting, moment to be at Radio Christian Voice, where you'd want also to speak to entrepreneurs within the Christian, circles, those that are involved in businesses, and obviously to the entire SMEs within the ecosystem of business. So I am happy to be here, and I think this is my first time to come to this station. Yes, so I'm excited to be here, honestly, and just to discuss entrepreneurship.
Today is the 1st of October, a few months before the year 2026. How would you describe the year 2025 so far for the ministry?
Well, I think so far so good. I'm looking at what reforms we've been put in place since the ministry, was created. I think so far so good. Of course, there are a number of other challenges that I will talk about as I think, continue. But it looks good with the entire government system, how we're looking at the economy, because when the economy is growing, then even, in other sectors or subsectors should start growing as well. Despite some of the challenges that we'll talk about as we go. Generally, we're looking at, as government, how to grow the economy of this country. And I think a number of factors or reforms have been put in place for us to grow this economy. I would want to, before I zero in the SME sector itself, but let me talk about the broader, picture that when we took office as UPND government, we found a lot of challenges, starting from the dates, the sector which is more like the backbone of the economy, which is the mining sector, was also dead. So you find that it's difficult even for the small and medium businesses to thrive. When the mining sector is not doing well, it's very, very difficult, because this has been like the backbone of our economy in this country. We've put up reforms within the agricultural sector, and I'm sure you've seen this year that we've recorded the highest, harvesting. So all these, indicators are actually pointing to the growth of our small and medium businesses.
Yes, most definitely. Now, when this ministry in 2021 was created, with regards to SMEs, people were very excited. And when I had a chance to have a conversation, say, what do you think of this ministry? They told me, Panomba, we know where to get money from for our businesses. But just for the sake of a refresher course to the core mandate of your ministry, so that we should get it right. Because I've heard a lot of misconceptions about why the ministry was established and why it exists. But let's just have a refresher course from you. What's the core mandate of your ministry?
Basically our core mandate is to foster the growth and development of small and medium businesses in the country for job creation and wealth creation. That is the actually core of this ministry, is to make sure that we foster the growth and development of small and medium businesses in the country. That's number one. Now, what is the result when you foster the growth and development of SMEs? Is actually to create jobs and wealth in our country. Why? We looked at, or the president looked at the environment for business in the country, and the majority in business are small and medium. And then the ministry was created so that they can be dedicated to foster their growth. So basically that is the core.
Then also, when it comes to mandate, then now there's, I know you've talked about pushing small and medium enterprises in the country to create jobs and wealth. And under this bracket, there are some of those services that you offer as a ministry. And also, for the sake of a refresher course, what are some of those empowerment programs that you offer as a ministry through your other partners like CEEC and the others, so that also people are just aware?
Maybe before we get to that, you said a lot of entrepreneurs or those who wanted to start a business, startups, were very excited when they had this creation of a ministry of small and medium, which is very good. And I was excited, even myself, before I was even, put in charge, because I've been an entrepreneur running some small medium business in the country, and I think it wasn't good for that's an important sector not to have a dedicated ministry. So people were excited, and the president pronounced the creation of the ministry, and it was done. But there are parameters, and that's why I'm coming now to your question. There are things to be put in place so that the ministry can be effective, so that people can see, entrepreneurs, SMEs, or even cooperatives, they thought there and then the minister is in charge, the PS is there, and then we must now go and have access, let's say, to finance, their challenges and things like that. Yeah, it's an exciting thing, but it also takes a bit of time for this ministry to be established, and to now look back and implement, the core mandate of the ministry. So it takes a bit of time. So, and this is now taking me to the question of what what have you put in place so that you can foster the growth and the development.
And also seeing that this ministry was created in 2021, is it safe to say that you have arrived as a ministry now? Everything now is in place? Because also seeing that it's a new ministry, it takes a little bit of time for you to settle in and get things right. Is it safe to say that as of 2025, you have arrived as a ministry?
Yeah, well, maybe let me not use the word you have arrived. Arriving, it means now you are not going far. So I want to say the ministry set to run. It's set to run. We've not yet arrived, but it's set, meaning we do have all the functions of the ministry, and for us to foster the growth of our SMEs, I think it's in place for the ministry, and we've got all the departments that are supposed to run with the mandate. For example, the Department of Business Development, where we now giving capacity building to our SMEs, meaning where we are giving them the business development skills in business. So that is there. We have the R&R. R&R is the regulation department, which is now looking at cooperative development, or rather registration. Yeah, and then the twin department, which is the Department of Cooperatives, R&R and the Department of Cooperatives. They are almost one and the same. The other one is looking at regulations, registration, and things like that. They are the compliance, and the other one is looking at the development of cooperatives, because this is also under my ministry. So we also have the core department called SME. That is just for SME development itself. Yeah, so that department is also run up and running, and is being headed by all these departments by directors. R&R director, business development department director, and cooperatives SME, because these are technical departments. And then of course you supportive units, procurement, and all these, within institutions, or rather the ministry. Yeah. So, but these four are core departments where, for example, if the cooperatives are not doing well, then I'll have to talk to the Department of Cooperatives. What's happening? What is going on? People are failing probably to register the cooperatives. I will have to ask somebody what is going on, because at one point, cooperatives were doing so well in Zambia, but then at one point we went down. But in the UPND government, we came up and we looked at, I think it's a good model for business, and to benefit many within a society. For example, our cooperatives within the rural setting, the rural areas, they are doing very, very well, and we want to continue helping, fostering, giving them capacity and things like that. So we are running. Yeah, we are not yet arrived, because we've already come up with our policies, for cooperative and for SME. That is done, and our implementation plan, all these are in place, and we are in the process to come up with a law that will protect the SME sector. That is in the process. Cabinet just approved in principle for us now to even consult more within our ecosystem, those that should be able to submit what they would want the law to be. So for example, that we are doing that. You just talked about cooperatives, and it's just reminded me of some situations that I've seen with a lot of our brothers and sisters. There's that hesitancy to form these cooperatives, to perhaps maybe want to apply for a loan. And you rightly said, at some point in the country, cooperatives are doing well, and then we went down the drain, but now we're starting to pick up. How would you describe the emerging or the numbers of cooperatives that you have registered, especially under your ministry? Is it something you're happy with? Is it increasing, or there's still work to be done that people should set up these cooperatives? So basically, it's an ongoing process, and new ideas are being formed within our society and within our business environment. So those that come up with the business venture and they want to go a cooperative way, they are welcome to come and register. It's an ongoing, a process that people continue to register their cooperatives under the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development. So far so good, but as a ministry, we are also encouraging those cooperatives within the same value chain. We would want them to come together, than forming up a new cooperative. We would want the numbers to grow within the cooperative movement. One cooperative may even have 100, may even have 1,000, may even have 200. So this is also part of our emphasis this year, that cooperatives should emerge, should come together, especially that within the same value chain. For example, you are into honey processing, and the other cooperative into honey processing. You've got maybe about 20 doing the same thing. Why don't you come together? or have an umbrella, but within the same value chain. So basically, this is what we're doing. We're encouraging, cooperative to be formed in various sectors. For example, in the mining sector now, with the coming of, the gold mining, where we are encouraging artisanal, activities to be done, to be issued with small. This is when you say artisanal, these are small scale miners.
Yeah.
So we forming cooperatives within the mining sector, within tourism sector, within the NH sector. In all sectors of our economy, we are actually forming up cooperatives, because some time back cooperatives were just like related with the agricultural sector, but cooperatives are within all the sectors of our economy. I'll be coming to tackle the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission when you talked about this institution partnership. Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission is an institution, or rather a commission, under the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development. It's not a partnership with the Ministry of SME, no. That's a government, that's a government institution under the Ministry of SME.
So it falls under the Department of SME.
Yeah, so they fall under the Department of Business Development.
Business Development.
Yes, that is where.
Under your ministry.
Under the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development. So they fall under the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development and under the Department of Business Development.
Okay, before we get to that, because also just for the sake of clarity, when we had the Mufumbwe gold mine, I heard some miners say, I think now what we can do, we can go to the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise. Perhaps we get a loan so that we buy an excavator so that we also do our mining. And then one of the question was, yes, that is a good idea, but let's maybe also understand how far the ministry can go, how the ministry also supports, especially startups. Yeah. So maybe we just want to understand, especially for startups, how does the ministry help startups? What are those, maybe you would say, ventures that the ministry is going to support? If you're coming from the agriculture, the ministry is going to support you. If you're coming from the mining, the ministry is going to support you.
Yeah. Well, maybe the way to answer your question, or for our entrepreneurs and SMEs to understand, is that the
especially startups.
Yeah, the Ministry of Small and Medium, I think, in fact, I would say micro, small and medium businesses. We are in all the sectors of our economy. That should be understood. Anything that you are doing, as long as it's business, but within micro, small and medium, this is our sector. This is our focus. That's number one. Number two, in terms of, helping those that are starting, I know that most of our SMEs and cooperatives, the challenges they will face when they are starting up a business, they are discussing business. They say capital, access to finance. So, access to finance. Why the ministry was created was to, of course, tackle such challenges. But before we tackle those challenges, we have identified business development skills to be the number one, to change the mindset of the entrepreneurs, or to help the mind of the entrepreneurs, those that are willing to do what, to start business, So we need to help them first and foremost. We need to make sure that they understand how to run business. They need to know, so that as we give the business development, some of those intended to run business, they may fall off, because business is not all. Citizens should just get into, running of businesses. There are those that, yes, can learn to run a business and they continue running. There are those who born with, those ideas. They just needed to enhance through training. They can run businesses. Others, they have to take care of our businesses. For example, this is a business for me, where we are, the studio and this institution. We have those that are doing marketing. We've got the accountants. We've got those that are managers. We've got all those who are doing that. But then we've got even the owners of the businesses, the co-owners of the business. Yeah. So basically, this is how we are looking at as a ministry. Startups. And we go through with startups and we see that, yes, their proposals are perfect.
Yeah.
And I think they need to be supported in terms of access to finance or capital. We now will recommend through our institution, which is CEEC and Economic Empowerment Commission, yeah, for them to have access to finance. I'll talk about CEEC fund and the challenges there, so that our entrepreneurs also understand, because there will be a lot of questions. I have applied, I have not had any response,
yes.
and they haven't accessed, and many of our entrepreneurs, they've actually not accessed the empowerment fund through CEEC and Economic Empowerment Commission. What do I mean when I say many? Few, when you look at the applications which has been submitted to CEEC and Economic Empowerment Commission, there are so many who have applied, but few have accessed because of the allocation that government is giving. And this is why when I say we give capacity, of course in conjunction with other stakeholders within SME, ecosystem. So we have those that we've partnered with in building capacity, in giving business developments, helping us to identify or to enhance the entrepreneurial, mind within the SME sector. After that, some we recommend them to various platforms where they can have access to finance. It could be commercial banks. It could be other initiatives like...
So the ministry also plays that linkage role.
Yes, we are linking entrepreneurs to having access to finance, affordable finance. So we negotiate. For example, banks, some commercial banks, they've tailor-made some products to just suit the SMEs and cooperatives, and it could be initiatives like the GIP, which is Growth for Investment Partnership, where the president, myself, and Labour Minister, we launched a $70 million. That is specifically to support the SMEs who are looking for.
Honourable Minister, let's also address that perhaps entrepreneur, maybe in Kalingalinga or in Kandere, they've heard you to say, in all sectors of the economy. Let's say, for instance, this particular entrepreneur has got a grocery store or a grocery shop, and they want to expand. Maybe to something a little bit larger, almost like a chain store. They've heard of your ministry. One of the question is, what is the criteria that when I engage the ministry, perhaps I'll have a chance of getting more finance to expand my business? And also, is it only CEEC under that frame when it comes to groceries? Is it only CEEC that one could apply to, or perhaps there's another maybe of your partners that one can apply to for more financing for this particular business?
Yeah, well, within government system and within the Ministry of SME, we only have one institution called CEEC and Economic Empowerment Commission that is giving, affordable financing to our SMEs and cooperatives. But we have partners. For example, the local banks, those that have come up with products to support our SMEs within the financial, sector. Those we just recommend and say, go and see such and such a bank and give them your proposal. They will look at it. But for example, I was talking about the GIP, where we would want our SMEs to go also and apply. We also have within government system CDF. There is also loans and grants. And we are working very closely with the local government ministry.
So that also falls under your watch?
Well, because of the enterprise aspect within the CDF, where they are giving loans. And basically these loans is for enterprises.
From CEEC, they can also apply
into CDF. In CDF. In CDF they can apply. But the only problem what we found out was that when they have access to, let's say, loans within CDF, even within Citizen Economic Empowerment, the repayment, and it's very bad.
Yeah.
People are not paying back.
People are not paying back. Let's get to that just before this. I would like you to talk about Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission. I know this is under your watch as minister. Have you been happy with the performance of CEC? And also, there's been complaints from entrepreneurs that CEC is a very good initiative, but maybe capacity. There's need to increase more funding so that more entrepreneurs can benefit from what CEC is offering.
Yeah, well, the performance, what should I say? I think so far so good. They've performed well, Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. The only, I think, issue they are facing is to have more empowerment fund. To have more empowerment, but money will never be enough in any society, in any organization. And the complaint that we are receiving from the entrepreneurs is that they cannot have access to the empowerment fund. But others, they've had the access to this empowerment fund through Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. So if the rate is also low in repaying or paying back, it's actually also very difficult. It's also very difficult for the commission to roll out to others those who are still waiting, to be funded. So this is why we now bringing in experts to partner with government, even government institutions, to partner so that, for example, banks, they understand how to, give loans. But entrepreneurs, they don't want to, especially the Zambian, business community, they don't want to go to the bank. They fear, especially small businesses, they fear to go to the bank.
Yeah, they talk about how that, collateral.
It's tedious, it's difficult, of course.
And some even say the interest rates.
Yeah, but
you cannot compare it with CEC.
With government, yes. Let me just say government system. For example, CEC and within local government, because there is also money that are given to our entrepreneurs. But we must also talk about Zambia Credit Guarantee Scheme, because that's also another, initiative from government, where government has given now nearing $1 billion kwacha to guarantee small and medium businesses to have access to affordable financing through our banking institution.
Yeah.
That is also good. The governor, Bank of Zambia governor talked about it, and we launched it. And if your proposal is good, get to Zanaco.
And how are the interest rates there?
Well, it's within our government rate, which is from 5 to 12%, depending on what product you are looking for.
5 to 12%.
Yes,
that's the interest rate.
That's the interest rate, which is very affordable. When you compare with the commercial banks.
Is this the same with what CEC perhaps is offering?
Yeah, well, CEC is just the same. When I say within the government, system is between 5 and 12%. CEC will give you at 12%. They may, depending on the especially irrigation support.
Yeah.
If you have to, probably irrigation support is 9%. So that's what I'm saying. It's from 5 to 12%, depending on what product you're looking for and you've applied for.
And have they eased up on the collateral?
Yeah, well, you must also understand when you are getting small amounts like 50,000 and up to 100,000, I think is the collateral free. Yeah, but we just have to make sure that your proposal is good enough to convince, the commission that yes, I think you can give out, because also your ideas or your business proposal will also convince the institution of if they should be able to give it to you or not. Yeah, but of course above that, you risking government's money. You have to make sure that you give out some surety.
Yeah,
it's very important.
Let's also talk about transparency, Honorable Minister. There's been some complaints from some entrepreneurs that we love what the minister is saying. The minister is saying we ought to have a very good proposal. That we do. But there's been complaints that transparency of how people access these finances, it could be under CEEC or maybe your partners. They've questioned this to say, we've seen some people that are loyal to the ruling UPND access funds. With us that perhaps are not even aligned to any political party, it's been difficult. So that transparency question has come with now politics to say, it's because mnomfana na UPND. How transparent is the issuance of loans and other services under your ministry?
Yeah, I think the policy there is that qualification to have access to this empowerment fund within Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. Number one, you have to be a Zambian, and a Zambian with entrepreneurial spirit. And with the proposals that when you bring or you give it to CEC, that proposal should be able to help. When we fund it, we should be able to create jobs and wealth for our people. That's number one. You are supposed to be a Zambian. This is why it's called the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. It's for the Zambians, for the citizens of this country. So, regardless of your political affiliation, that we are not, encouraging. And if where I'm sitting, I hear there is, preference to, even if they are preferring, let's say, the entrepreneurs within, UPND alone, then there I'll come in and say, this is not the intention of this government.
Have you had some people complain to you to say, Honorable Minister, there's a problem here? Others were given, us were not given because perhaps they're friends of the party. Have you had such cases?
Well, not directly coming to my office and say they are complaining that they're just giving, let's say, let me use the word cadres. It's through platforms like this, maybe when they are phoning in, when they are asking questions, when you like asking me question, that no, you are preferring only those people aligned with your party, and they are the ones that are having access to this empowerment fund within Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. That is not supposed to be like that. Well, but also I should be quickly, react to that and say, if you are UPND and you are an entrepreneur, if you are Tonse, PF, other political parties, you are an entrepreneur. You are all equal to have access to this empowerment fund. Those supporting the ruling party as entrepreneurs, those who are not supporting, or those who are aligned with other political parties, they are all equal to have access to this empowerment fund, because if we don't do that as government, we are denying our other citizens to actually add to our core mandate as government, which is to grow the Zambian economy, to reposition the Zambian economy for greater growth. So basically that's it. I give someone aligned with me because they are UPND, and they may not as, equipped or skilled as the one who is supporting the other party. This one may just, let's say, create 50 jobs, but that one, because it's aligned with another political party, and then they are able to create maybe hundreds of hundreds of jobs, and we deny that opportunity. That is not encouraged, and that is not the UPND mandate. We have to make sure that every Zambian have access to these initiatives within government system.
Okay. All right. In case you are just tuning in, you are listening to Wednesday's edition of Chatback right here on Radio Christian Voice. My name is Angel Kasabo, and this morning I'm privileged to be joined in studio by Honorable Minister for Small and Medium Enterprise, Honorable Elias Mubanga. He's our guest this morning to help us look at this particular topic, SME development empowerment in Zambia since 2021. This is our topic of discussion that we have. And this morning, all those questions that you've been having with regards to this ministry and empowerment funds, the minister is in studio this morning to respond to you. Let's just not depend on hearsay and what people are writing on social media. We have the Honorable Minister in studio this morning. So when we open the phone lines, we give an opportunity to call in and ask him those burning questions. Honorable Minister, let's get to the low repayment rates that has engulfed, I would say, especially the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission. And just last week, I was following up a story with them, and they have confirmed that services such as the Marketeer Booster loans is still on hold because they still have to recover so much money that went out and hasn't come back. But I know you've got a huge team that looks into why people are not repaying back, and I'm sure they've brought a report to you. What is the issue with repaying of these loans that have been administered, especially under your ministry? Where is the issue? Even the president has been very categorical on this. He doesn't like it. He's not happy that when people access these loans, even under CDF, they're not repaying. What is the issue? Where is the problem?
Yeah, maybe what we should say to the public over these loan performance is that we first have to look at ourselves as Zambians, entrepreneurs. Borrowing within business circles or system is part of it. For your business to succeed, you need some capital. You may not have your own funds. How do you have access to capital? Is through borrowing for you to sustain your business. So this is why I said in the beginning that we've introduced capacity building or business skills development within the country, and for the entrepreneur minds, those who would want to run businesses. We would want to bring in a mindset change within the business, environment in our country. That has been very bad in terms of, how you look at loans in Zambia. Whether it's at household level or, corporate level or anywhere. Or maybe, let me just say, within the small and medium businesses. It's been very difficult for people. They borrow, they pay back. Kulwa.
So it's part of culture.
Yeah, but that has to be tackled. And that's why I'm saying we have to bring in what do we have to bring in place to try and help people change their mindset change towards repayment of a loan, And the ministry found out that more of capacity building within our SME sector is needed. And that's the future plans. And in fact, it's a policy that before you have access to this, empowerment fund within government system, whether it's under Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission and within CDF or anywhere else, we now borrowing from private sector, the way they are tackling, loan issues. They first put you in class. They make sure you understand because they don't want to risk the fund. If you are 20 of you, they will say you undergo some capacity building. We want to understand. Mm-hmm. They will visit you. They will go and see what you are doing. They will visit you. If you want to get into agricultural sector, they will go and see your farm. If it's a shop, they will come and look at your shop. They come and look at all these things. Why are they doing that? Is to prepare your mind and give you some skills. And this is what we are doing. And I think I want to be very strong here. I know I'll receive questions over CEEC that may have applied but haven't. These are the questions, the answers I'm giving.
People are not repaying.
People are not repaying because of the mindset. The mindset has to be changed. The mindset has to be changed in Zambia where loan repayment is concerned. We don't want to pay back. Why don't we want to pay back? You borrowed. Why don't you want to pay back? And this is what I'm saying. Before you have any access to this special government fund, there must be serious, skills development given to such entrepreneurs so that we minimize and we help, grow this sector. Because if you have even, let's say, 100,000 applications, but then if we can have even 25%, meaning 25,000 of these entrepreneurs, well-trained, well-equipped, mentored to run the businesses, then you create more jobs than having 100,000 given the funds and you risk the fund. The repayment, maybe it's 5%. Now, if you say these 25,000, the repayment is almost 100%. Concentrate on the entrepreneurs who are like that.
Yeah, Honorable Minister, in your way to try to understand why people are defaulting on these loans, and I know your teams may have contacted these people that have got these loans, and when you call them to say, hey, you need to repay your loan, what are those common answers that you're getting from these people that have defaulted on why they're not repaying the loans?
Well, there are a number of factors as well, and could be genuine factors and reasons why they may not pay. Genuine, for example, some entrepreneurs would come and say, Minister, because of the deficit in power, energy, my business has not run properly and I can't pay. But if they are genuine like that and there was a call through my office that you've challenges in terms of, for example, what we're going through as a country in terms of power, please write to the ministry and copy CEEC, or write to CEEC and copy the ministry, so that we specifically look at your issue. If it's genuinely because of the challenge of power, we should be able to talk. And even in terms of that, we're not saying they should not pay back. But you do what? You initiate the repayment. They will tell you and say, no, I think I can start paying after, let's say, 3-4 months. We are listening government. When a saloon owner got money from CEEC and then the whole day they haven't had power, how are they going to run their business, make money and pay back? So we have to understand. So we now reschedule, the repayment 10, That's basically.
Have you had people write to you and say
they've written to us, and we've helped a number of our entrepreneurs. We've helped a lot of them.
But some haven't written to you.
Others have not. But also this is not just by everyone now should come on and write. No, we have to go case by case. Others, everything is okay, and then they could not just pay. So we have to go case by case.
There was an interesting analogy that was brought forth to the media by a member of parliament, Kamfinsa member of parliament, Honorable Christopher Kangombe. This was his view, to say he partly understands why there's been low repayment in loans, CDF and CEEC. According to him, he says it's because every time we are officiating at these particular handovers of these loans, politicians are the ones at the forefront to say, Okena Twisa, we're giving you 500,000 kwacha.
Politics at play.
Politics at play. 500,000 kwacha for this cooperative. And he went on to say he understands your job, but he is of the view that when loans are being dispersed, your presence shouldn't be there, because the moment they see you, they say, Honorable Minister is always giving loans. So let's just get the loans, and when it comes to repaying, we'll negotiate. So there's an issue of politics at play. Do you agree with that analogy, that perhaps your office and your presence should be nowhere near when it comes to officiating at these loans that you give?
Yeah, well, I think there are scenarios, different scenarios within that. Of course, I would want to be there when loans are being given as a politician. You know, politics is about perception, that you must understand. Yeah, the minister is giving this, you know, he has come to give us loans, but these are loans. Now, fundamental issues are being discussed with you, me here. If we have to really grow the economy, we have to throw away the politics. Politics should not come in play when you want to strengthen, you know, the SME sector within the country. Business is business, and in fact, this is why the president created came up with the PPD, you know, dialogue forum, meaning public-private dialogue or forum. What does that mean? Private should now mingle with the public. Usually public, this is where the politicians are coming from. But we want to bring in now the public sector to help the public sector, to help now the public sector to understand how these things are done. There is a lot of misuse within the public sector. I have to be very frank with you. I've worked in government now for nearing 4 years. I've seen it with my own eyes. So you need public sector to help the private. I mean, you need private sector to help public sector. The way, you know, government workers look at things is totally different.
There's a
in
lot of
public, in private sector, you want to maximize your profit. You want to make sure that everything is maximized within that business, you know, organization. You have to work hard. You don't have to look at, I'll have to start at 8 hours and knock off at 17. In private sector, there's nothing like that. You work up to 20 hours. You can start working at even 10 hours. Deliverable. Whatever achieved, that is private. Public, let's go to work at 8. You have your teas, you know, 17 hours, you are packing your bags, you are going. That is public.
So in the public sector, people are not serious.
Yeah, but this is why I'm saying the mind should be changed. And this is why the UPND government is bringing in reforms. We are bringing in reforms within the public sector. We have to report of what you're doing. I'm supposed to be here in interview. I'm supposed to be ready. I'm supposed to come early. But in public sector is as usual. We miss out. We're not consistent. If it's 9, let it be 9. That is in what? Private sector. The deal must be, it must be done. We must sign the deal at 10 hours. And then at such and such a time, groundbreaking should start. The contract has to be on site. Such and such a time we must finish. These are the reforms the UPND government is trying to bring in and introduce.
Yeah.
And it looks a bit, are resisting. There's resistance coming from the public sector. But this is how you should run your economy.
Yeah. So I asked you a question on the political analogy, and you said those are politics. Let's leave out politics because we're looking at, how to make this empowerment better. How about for those that have said also one of the reasons as to why people are failing to repay these loans is because most of the beneficiaries are affiliated or are good friends of the ruling political party, in this particular case, the UPND. What would be your comment to that perception?
But I think I answered. I said, you see, this is how things have been done. You have to belong to a political party for you to gain. But that is wrong. I have to be very frank with you. That is wrong. It comes to business. I want to talk about a bit of politics. Just the immediate past government, you needed to be a PF cadre to have access to contracts. They were banning even the notes because they had so much. They were showing off because there was so much. But that's how you run your economy. The mines are suffering. Mupani was going. KCM, it was in court. Agriculture sector, no, the attention was only given to politics. You don't run an economy, or rather government, just on politics. And when I say politics, it's a policy direction. What do you want to achieve as a ruling party in government, as a political party in government? What are your policies? Our policies as UPND government is to change the mindset of the public sector to look at how we can deliver within this period, whether whatever sector of our economy, even in healthy sector, that has to come in any sector. Look at how we encourage farmers to get into back to the land, till the land. Look at the bumper harvest. That's just a policy. We need to understand when you talk about politicians, politics. So, it's the mindset change. Rather, in Africa, we need to change to make sure that our economies in Africa, our economies in Africa should be like those, like in other European countries.
Mm-hmm. Talking about how people have defaulted on these loans is one thing. Perhaps maybe now taking action is another thing. We have seen quite a few councils across the country that have taken these defaulters to court, the ones that got loans under CDF. That's just one way. But as a ministry, are you perhaps considering now to go really tough on people that have defaulted?
That's the last resort. Let me also tell you one of our policies as UPND. We don't like things in court. That I need to be very frank with you. Even the little things, even in family affairs, we don't want things in court. We want things to be discussed. Alternatives should be given. This is why the ministry, through my office, said, if you've got issues, why are you not paying back the loan? You have issues. Write to the ministry so that we can look at alternatives. Paying, you have to pay back. But can we give you a chance to pay back than taking you to court? How many years it's going to take you to court? Because when you get to court, they will tell you and say, I had no power. And that's why I didn't. And then this person never gave even probably the collateral. What are you going to do? And this is why I'm emphasizing, as SME, entrepreneurship minister in the country, I'm emphasizing to specifically look at the entrepreneurial spirit within the country. We will minimize what we're talking about today. We will advance those who want just to get skilled within various, disciplines. For example, you are a journalist, she's a journalist, others are accountants. Then we have the business community. Visit serious business entities.
So for now...
No, wait, just wait. I want to give you an example. I haven't gotten permission, but I'll give you an example. Trade Kings, how did they start? Trade Kings, how did they start? Where are they? Such are the examples. There are also a few Zambians who are doing well. And those are my focus. I've just given an example of what should we do to advance the development of our sector, business sector. What should we do? And this is what I'm saying. We have to concentrate on those with entrepreneurial spirit. We will minimize what we're talking about. We will minimize taking people to court. Who do that?
Yeah. So also when you're going to focus on these people with these entrepreneurial minds, Honorable Minister, don't you think now it goes back to how you're selecting who benefits and who doesn't benefit? Don't you think that's where it should all start from? If this person comes with a proposal, you do your due diligence to
say,
we think this business will work and this person will be able to repay.
Exactly. And this actually goes to even those agents, agencies, institutions, government departments who are giving loans. These are the parameters they must be following.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will be court issues. They will fail to pay. I'm happy to discuss this topic. Repayment of the loans. You get, the loan to do that business. Can you do just that? If you've got an order from the mines, get this loan, don't deviate. Because this is another issue, within our Zambian mind. And when you get paid, instead of going to pay back, you start going to buy the VXs. You want to be on top of things. That's not the way business run. You first grow your capital.
Yeah. You talked about how that you don't like things to be done in court. But the question is, Honorable Minister, these funds that were given to these people, the only way in which other people will benefit is when they're repaid. So as we are talking right now, people are waiting
to be paid.
Yes, people are waiting to get a loan from CEEC, but that money is only going to come from the people that have already got those loans and when they repay. So the question is, how long are you going to have these discussions with these loan defaulters? How long? So that, we make this, it's a revolving fund. Other people have to benefit. But the worry is, Honorable Minister, you just said first, before we get to court, we'll have conversations. So how long are you going to have these conversations?
Obviously, you see, also to the extent when things gets, not resolved. There is court. That's the last resort. That's what I'm saying. We have to try other alternatives before we get to court. Okay? So we have to try other alternatives. Pursue. There is even pursuance. Even the owner of the money. How do you think you can pay me? You even suggest, why don't you do this so that you pay me back? Those are options. If this person is an entrepreneur, should be able to follow the advice or what you advising. then they do what you have suggested, then they would pay back. But the issues are that if we just say, oh, everyone, you are free, come, then you are in trouble. You are in trouble. Others will even give you fake addresses. You are in trouble. And that's why this is very important. I think the bottom line is to grow our economy. That is the bottom line. How do we grow our economy? I talked about the creation of the ministry. How do we now advance our mandate to this? This is how, business development comes in before access to affordable financing. That's it.
Yeah. And so, seeing that as a ministry, you've learned a lesson that the repayment of these loans is very low. Going forward, are you thinking of re-strategizing and now saying every loan that you get has to be collateral based? Are you going to go that route?
No.
Why aren't you going to go that route?
No.
When you've seen there's high...
No and yes. In fact, let me say no and
low
yes.
repayment rate.
No and yes. Listen, this is why we're saying our future focus now is to give capacity within, our business community. Those that intend to do business, we give the capacity, we give the business development skills. Even in there, you are able to identify proper entrepreneurs. Even when you give them, let's say 100,000, collateral free, they'll be able to pay back because they've got entrepreneur spirit. They know how to run a business. They'll pay back. It's not just about, no, you just have to pay back. No. Of course, when the amount is getting to millions, I mean, there must be some attachment in terms of collateral. Yes, that's anywhere, everywhere.
So you're still giving them a benefit of doubt.
Yes,
you're going to focus more
not
on
necessarily giving them
building.
Not necessarily. It's also a process. It's also a process. We can't just say, okay, now we have to stop because you people are not paying back and things like that, as you have suggested. Our future, projection is to make sure that we focus on the entrepreneurial minds, and then those that we should be able to be given even more business development skills, and then have access to finance and link them to market, help them to run a business successfully, so that they pay back. So that's it. That's our mandate.
So and for others that may want to judge this ministry, that from the time it was created, we are now would safely say 4 years. The ministry has done so much work, but we're going to judge them based on how this revolving fund has been moving. And when they hear of there's low repayment rates in these loans, and they say, because of this aspect, we'll say that the ministry has failed. For people that may want to judge you like that, do you think that's unfair?
Well, let me also say this. We've so much focused on non-repayment. Do you know that also we've got a good number of people who are actually listening maybe from this program who have paid back? We gave out, I think, to 46 at one point, 46,000 entrepreneurs, 10,000 paid back.
36 did not.
Is that 36? Yes.
Yeah.
So have you seen?
So
for me, 10,000, these are the entrepreneurs.
Oh, these are the
those the 36, those are not entrepreneurs.
What are they?
And well, they bogus kind of business
but you're the
people.
ones who are offering these loans on a
No, but listen, what
6,000 is a big number.
What I'm saying is that form up cooperatives, come, they form up cooperatives, they go to CEEC before realizing that we needed to intensify the capacity building, and these 36,000 were given. But some of these to the 36,000, these are also a percentage. They've got challenges. These are the ones that are writing to the ministry or to CEEC that I could not run my business because there was no power in my shop or in my business.
So power has been
of course.
Are you saying it's one of the huge contributing factors to why people haven't repaid these loans?
I'm telling you, if we had maximum power now in the country, this economy you could have seen where we could be with the reforms government has introduced. And this is why we, UPND government, we working day and night to make sure that we sort out the power issue in the country.
Yeah, but Honorable Minister, still when I look at the numbers, 10,000 from 46,000, 10,000 have repaid, 36,000 haven't repaid. It's a worrying number, Honorable
It is worrying, yes, and I agree with you. It is worrying, and this is why I'm saying I'm happy to talk about this. And those that are listening from this program, you have an intention to have access to affordable financing through CEEC. It will be actually very difficult until you prove to government that you are able to pay back and you succeed in your business.
Before we get to the phone lines, what would be your word of encouragement to entrepreneurs that continue to apply to CEEC and they're not accessing these funds because CEEC is saying we still have a lot of people that haven't repaid. You have to wait. And in their waiting, they've become frustrated. And perhaps they're even saying, I think we should go to the minister's office to air out our frustrations because we're not this affordable to this thing that they say access to affordable financing. We're not getting it. What would be your word of encouragement to those?
I must also tell you, you are not guaranteed that when you apply, then you are guaranteed to do what? To receive or to be beneficiary. No. Your applications must be scrutinized. There is a process. You apply 100 of you. Maybe those that have qualified, there will be maybe only 30.
Out of 100?
Yes. That is true. So, this is why I'm talking about the mindset. Even when you are looking for employment, you applied in so many institutions and you received regrets. So even in accessing this empowerment fund, you are also likely to get a regret. Your application is not successful because it's not viable. It cannot, do the intended purpose by our standards. So that's it. It's not that when you apply to Citizen Economic Empowerment, automatically they must give you the funds that you are looking for. No, that's not it. I mean, that's for sure.
Okay.
Is that you've gotten it even you also? Angel.
No, Honorable Minister.
Angel.
For me, I interact.
Let's have a discussion.
Yeah,
you and me.
Yes. I interact with these entrepreneurs, and they tell me we feel like the ministry is operating alone, and we're alone because we see other people almost the same sort of business proposals. Other people get the funds, other people do not, and we don't know what to do. These are some of the things that they tell me.
Can I also ask?
When I have a conversation with the minister, I'll ask him.
Can I also answer or maybe contribute? Because we have so many of these applications, and then so the demand is huge.
Of course.
When you talk about I think the last time I checked was the total applications value could be up to 30 billion kwacha. 30 billion kwacha.
30 billion kwacha.
30 billion kwacha. That is just the total number of the valued applications.
Yeah, valued applications.
By Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. That is from 2022 to 2024.
30 billion kwacha.
Yeah.
And what was on the table?
And what was on the table, it's about $1 billion.
Only 1 billion kwacha.
So what percentage is that? So even those that are complaining, the chances of 10%. Having access to this within 2022, 2023, 2024, this is 2025, it's minimal. It's very difficult.
Plans of perhaps increasing funding to
CEEC?
But
listen, CEEC is a government institution, and government is limited to resources. For example, in next year's budget, the empowerment fund has increased to over 500 million. Over 500 million from 391 million. That's an increase, good increase, That's about 14% increase to empowerment fund. Now, they demand, because there are those that are still waiting. There are those that are still waiting. You're talking about 30 billion. Even if we said, okay, the viable applications here, there are maybe 15 billion. Now, you only have, let's say, $500 million. So as you chat with them, those entrepreneurs, tell them what we've discussed today.
Well, and also for clarity's sake, Honorable Minister, with CEEC, right, with the monies that have been allocated, the selection process, is it the ones that are in the database, or every time you call for new applications?
Pardon?
Is it the ones that are already captured in the database that this person applied, or when there's a fund available, you recall for new applications?
No, this is what has been captured.
Okay.
All those who have applied.
Yes.
That is the total value.
Yes.
Yeah. But I must also say, this is why we are now partnering with other stakeholders. You know, so that some of these applications which are viable, which are viable, should go, for example, to GIP. That's a very good initiative. Let me also emphasize this, because the problem also for the entrepreneurs, they only want to get money from government. They just want government money because they know if I default, government won't do anything. That is a lie. There are demand letters which are going. So what am I trying to say here, entrepreneurs out there listening from me? We are one here, and we need to come up with something concrete for us to grow our Zambian economy. We've got now initiative. For example, there is a 1 billion initiative which was launched by the president last year. Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission, in partnership with the Absa Bank, cooperatives are being empowered in there. We've got the GIP, Growth for Investment Partnership. They are actually set up their offices at the Standard Chartered building there. You go there. Why are we doing that? We want them to help us, help change the mindset of our entrepreneurs.
Okay. Mindset of entrepreneurs, something that the minister has been very clear on. Let's get to the phone lines on the number 0956-200-490. Let's get your contributions and questions on today's program. 0956-200-490. Please, let's get straight to the point. 60 seconds, so that we allow as many callers as we can. 60 seconds. Hello, good morning. You are through to the program.
Good morning, how are you?
Very well. Your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Mr. Munsanje from Munsanje in Kanyama Central, Zambia.
Yes, Munsanje. Munsanje.
Yeah.
Hello, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning, Munsanje. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. I think
we seem to have a bad line there. Munsanje, you can call us back on the number 0956-200-490, so that we get if it's your question or contribution. Hello, good morning. You are through to the program.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Chanda Wawonse. I'm calling from Ndora.
Yes, go ahead with the contribution, Chanda Wawonse.
Minister Mabombe Musharani.
Hey, I'm quite Chanda. How are you? How is in Ndora, my town?
Our Ndora is cool.
Yeah, very nice, eh? Nice, nice.
Minister, I'm not but in a question and the Yakwati. Awe nyama nani awe ne nani ama small scale ama para ifine nga telefo ako nani ama roni nisema wakati yako nani program nangu ku CEEC uko kwa watu wapi watu wala ko for example ku school asangisha ko fya ko bonfie ndarama like ina watanda ko ida kwa watu umuntu ata supply buno gwine fin to payment wa mpera angusta mama VX na simbi na simbi. So better at least and financial literacy. Unapati hadi kulingako. So ngabarwatiko program ku isha para ku fixi. Kuzifari ya fiama loan pantu amako cooperative yandi. Twari mwana takaba.
Correct.
Wapa cooperative baya pasanga na bengi. Chimwe na ku CDF loan.
All right, thank you so much. Chanda Wonse calling us from Kito. Hello, good morning. Okay. 0956-200-490. Let me get this call. Hello, good morning. You are through to the program.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Very well. Your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Ronald. I'm calling from Kitwe in Musonda compound on the Copper Belt. Yeah, I wanted just to find out, let's go. What the minister is saying is what he's explaining. I think we are following. I wanted just to find out why is it not even him, but some government or most of government ministers or government officials, what they say on the radio is different from what is taking place on the background. So why is it what he's saying? Because on the background, you find that it's different from what he's saying. So why is it they are saying something, but on the ground, different things are taking place?
Are you able to give an example Are you able to give an example of what you're saying, which is what you're saying on radio, and in the background is on the ground is different?
Yeah, there are many examples.
Point one example.
Given for you to get a loan, it's very complicated. You find that you go this way, you find that the conditions and what they are saying is just totally different, Mr. Moderator. On the ground, to tell the truth, there is nothing that maybe so it's just different from what the minister or some governments are saying on the ground.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. The Honorable Minister will respond to you, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Ronald. Okay, Mr. Ronald calling us from Kitwe. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that caller. Perhaps I'm picking up calls when they are at their tail end. They are dialing 0956-200-490. Hello, good morning. Oof. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, your name and where are you calling us from?
Washmalan from Copper Belt.
Washmalan from Copper Belt, that is in Lusaka. Go ahead with the contribution.
Honorable Mushani.
Wino Mushani Washmalan.
Wino abafumapo walona jaba ni wasapoti wanipingi sana. Mule munifintu walanda mwenisho sana. So nga mule ndiro kwa jama loni muse mustapulai. Abantu wastapulai wengi ukana wapela. Ero futi mule abantu wachi iyo stand apply. Kopa Belt walila ndiro kwa mustapulai. Impia face pili. But mule kutaki abantu wachi iyo stand apply. Isnish. So mufuda kupela bada wastapulai akali wonte ngamola puisha. Ilo mwambo kupokela again food capacity. Ukitaka kwa timuiba wantu wachi apply but mule tafinde kumbi. So mutagege malondula wino sana nifya kwa watu mundu chamu kwa nimena ya malanga so pekere tokuma office kuya ma problem ikayigas iyo steni kula chusha abantu so nira atakuwa tinikulejo mwira nda simplification kwa watu mundu onte au for country stapa na ipina ini bayipindi.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution. We'll have to let you go. Thank you so much. Let's get in this call so that the Honorable Minister responds to the calls. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, that's another bad line. This one says, blessed good morning, Honorable Minister and panel. I'm keenly following the program. I am Charles A.K. Piri from Chipangali District in Eastern Province and championing agro-processing with a focus on sunflower oil seeds processing. Can your ministry help me with a loan for procurement of industrial oil expellers from China? This is Charles A.K. Piri texting us from Chipangali. Coming through from Eastern Province. Honorable Minister, you could respond to those before we get
I think I'm happy with Charles what he has said. He should visit the provincial office for Season Economic Empowerment Commission and the provincial office for small and medium a ministry in Eastern Province. There is a coordinator there. They should be able to help him, have access to, I think, what he's saying. That's quite reasonable. Vashmalan, yes. So many people have applied, and I agree with him. There are so many people who have applied to have this access to these loans. But I think I've explained why so many people cannot actually have access to this empowerment fund at the same time. Meaning, people have been given these loans. Some people have been given these loans proportional to, I think, what we are receiving. If we receive like the 391 million, this is what we should only dispatch to people. So we can't give what we don't have. So for the truth of the matter is that, yes, people are waiting. They've applied to CEEC. I'm talking about CEEC. They've applied to CEEC. Others have benefited. And those who have benefited, others are not paying back. And it's been difficult for us to actually give to everyone. Vashmalani, we hear you and we understand your frustration. Varonad, what we say on radio is totally different from what's on the ground. Me, I want to speak what I would want to see per ground. The truth of the matter, just it's more like the same question. What I'm saying, that is the way it's supposed to be. Every Zambian should be given equal access to the empowerment fund, which is true. And when I hear people are not following the policy of government, they are doing their own, they must report to the minister's office, PS's office. Then we talk to our officers if there are things. I actually talked about the way the public workers, work. That's another serious issues, affecting our citizens. Yeah. Then I think this is also good. Chanda Wabons, right? People are going to buy VXs because they were not given skills development training by CEEC. And I've actually talked to CEEC several times. Before people have access to this empowerment fund, can you give them some skills development?
Some training.
Yes.
Okay. Let's get the last three calls, Honourable Minister. Last three calls, and then we call it a day. Hello, good morning. You are through to the program. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where are you calling us from?
Good morning. This is Mercy. I'm calling from within Lusaka.
Yes,
is it Mercy?
Yes, Mercy from within Lusaka. Go ahead with the contribution.
Mercy. I wanted to find out from the Honourable Minister with the 2026 national budget, the amount that have been pronounced. The funds that have been allocated to his ministry, and also we know that his ministry is running at a loss. From the recent announcement that they're losing out about 1.8 million kwacha from loans, people that get loans and are not able to pay back. Is the money that has been allocated to his ministry enough for 2026? And also, maybe just clarity on why other people are not able to access these loans, and maybe just a few out of the many people that apply for these loans are able to access them. What is it? So, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
The last question.
Mercy. I think the last question was why still others are able to access the loans and others are not.
Okay.
I think that's what she was asking. Let's get another call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Mr. Nyirenda calling you from Tendera East.
Yes, go ahead with the contribution, sir.
Wanyirenda.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, Wanyirenda. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. So, I'm a shop owner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a shop owner in Tendera East. So, yes, there's just one or two issues I would love to talk about. So, first of all, there's a previous caller who talked about you saying something and then on the ground it's another thing taking place. So there's this one time that the Honorable Minister had a meeting with some entrepreneurs and he spoke about how that the councils should not close shops for people when they find that we have 1 or 2 licenses, so we're missing 1 license. And that very week, what happened was that the time that he spoke those words, the council officers actually went in on the ground. And I'm talking about here in Tendera East because they came. And they even came to my shop. And I was even telling them the same words because I only have 2 licenses, the business levy and the fire certificate. But I'm missing the health certificate. So I was telling them to say, but why do you, politicians are saying these things, and then you, the people, you are come here, you are telling us another thing. And then they told me that you're going to close your shop so that you can go to the minister and tell him these same words. That is one. And also another thing I would also love to confirm from him, because those same officers told me that there's actually an increment on the amounts that you're supposed to pay for fire certificate now, because currently I think it's at 700 something, but I'm told that there's now an increment. I think it will now be going at 2,000 or something. So I would love for a confirmation from him about the increment in this in the fees for the fire certificate. And the reason why for us as entrepreneurs, we even find it very difficult to even get these 3 licenses if they want. First of all, the mandatory, because they only made it mandatory to get all the 3 licenses just some 2 or 3 years back, and I don't know who they consulted. So they just made these decisions, and then they just sort of imposed it on us to say they're supposed to avoid these 3 licenses. That is the business levy, the health, as well as the certificate. You see? So I don't know, when this ministry was formed, I was one of the people who was very excited to say that maybe we're going to have a voice in some of these council decisions. But we see that they just make decisions and then they just come here on the ground and then they expect us to just follow, to just obey these decisions which they make without even our consultations.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The Honorable Minister will respond to you. He'll provide guidance on that issue. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, let's pick up another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, boss. How are you?
Yes, is this Warm Sanjay again on the line?
Yes, Honorable. This is Warm Sanjay.
Very quickly, you only have 60 minutes, 60 seconds.
Okay. Mwabuga shali wa Kanabes.
Mkwai mulishani huko Kanyama.
Tulishe wino, Honorable.
Thank you.
We really appreciate for impact.
Thank you, sir.
Continue the pass out information which is needed. Because as usual, makomboni muno timamberera abantu bamene bagamba kuti sivichitika but never sana endeko. So when the minister is on the radio giving guidance, I think abantu ndiye po konka kuti mwaenda mwamberako mwafikako. Finally, Honorable, me I applied I think in 2002 on financial.
Very quickly.
But in 2003, wanagamba kuti no, program ya financial taita suspend because wabula ma irrigation schemes. Wazaka ita proceed after. So siniziwa kuti how far and what should we do as who applied for financial loans ya financial. Otherwise, Mungu abudai Honorable, we are listening, continue. Information is power.
All right. Thank you so much, Wom Sanjay. With your indulgence, Honorable Minister, last caller now. Hello, good morning. You're through to the program.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. How are you, madam?
This is Auntie Dorothy. I just
Auntie Dorothy, are you able to reduce the... are you able to reduce... Hello?
Hello?
Are you able to reduce the volume? Reduce the volume on your radio cassette or getting terrible feedback?
Okay, dear.
I want to stand with the minister when they say that he is not giving capacity building. I'm one of the beneficiaries, 39 cooperatives in Lusaka. We attended the capacity building at government complex for almost 2 months. So the government is doing its best. And it's up to us to pay attention to what the minister is saying. We can't all get the money at one time. We've all applied, and we are waiting patiently at the right time. We'll benefit because now we have that mindset change. Our minds have been changed by businesses. We are no longer doing things anyhow. We stand with you, Honorable Minister. Continue, you are doing very well. As Zambians who are entrepreneurs, we want to be moving with you step by step so that we grow our businesses. Because this nation will be grown by entrepreneurs. This is what I just want to encourage other entrepreneurs. Let's not just condemn. Let's follow what the government policies are. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Auntie Dorothy, calling us from within.
Yeah, I think that's...
Just let me squeeze in this one, Honorable. Morning, Mr. Kasabo and the Minister. The problem is that most people who are in position to government give the money, and that's why there's low repayment. This is Mutika
again,
from Quito.
What they say?
It says the problem is that most people who are in government position are the ones that give the loans. I believe this is what he's trying to say, are the ones that give the loans. That's why there's low repayment of these loans. This is Mutika from Quito. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we'll have to close the phone lines.
Right. Mutika is right. He's right, and I think I'm happy. You could see different mindsets. These ones are doing this. This one wants to continue in a traditional way of doing business in the country. We don't want government. Let me be very frank here, and maybe I'll sound radical today. If I were with the full power, I would rather give all these empowerment fund in government agencies and institutions to private sector to run it for government. That's the intention, actually. I would rather get this empowerment fund, all of it, take it to commercial banks, take it to people who understand how to give loans, how to give capacity building, business skills, and then they now disperse the funds because they will now follow. They will be able to follow ups. They will be able to go and see what business they are doing. It's true. I said the way public sector work is totally different from the private sector. That's correct. They will bring in Bruno Babo, Eva Perendalama. Huh? Business. What are you doing? You are risking government fund. I would rather give it to Zanaco, Hapsa, First Bank. You call it what?
First Capital Bank?
No, the other bank.
FNB?
FNB.
Okay.
I would rather give it to that. But then I agree with them and say the conditions is as government. You only give these loans at 5% or at 12%. But you see, this is the mindset we're trying to break. Remove this thinking from our entrepreneurs. They must be facing the banks. They want to come to government because they know it's easier to have access to these funds. So thank you very much. I think that no, not Andoroth. I'm coming to Andoroth, but the other one, the text.
Oh, Mutika.
I think she's saying the government workers, they are the ones who are giving, and that's why there is low repayment. Correct. I agree. So now, such suggestion is very good. Is now helping qualifying, and in fact, suggesting that, Minister, what you thinking? Go ahead. So that entrepreneurs should now go. We will work with the bank. It will be like a partnership. Here is funds for CEEC.
So this is you hinting at what the ministry
I'm just hinting, yes. And this is what we're looking at, but we're not implementing it now. We want to give much more, sensitization. Sensitization. We give much more, give it to professionals to run. Government is not a bank. They don't know how to do debt collection. Do they? Government.
You only have 2 minutes.
Yes, I've got only 2 minutes. But Doro, thank you so much. I think for that, government policy is clear, and we intensify with our policies that you can only have access to this empowerment fund within government system after you have undergone business development skills. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then I think, thank you also. You are still waiting by Monsanje somewhere where you are there in Kanyama. Yeah, you wait. More money is coming in, more money. Since you are still on the line, you'll be considered. And I just hope your proposal is viable for you to qualify to have access to this empowerment fund. Nyerenda, yes. I think this is, let me first finish for Mercy. Then I finish up with Nyerenda. This is very important. Mercy, the budget looks very good. We've increased. We want more entrepreneurs to have access to this. It's not enough. The funds that has been allocated, it's not enough. And I said money will never be enough. But there's an increase. We appreciate government from 391 million to 500 plus million, which is quite good. The envelope for government is very mean. We don't have enough money. So others, I think I explained when she says why others get, others they don't get. That I explained, Messi, and thank you for your contribution. Then Nyerenda, the last one. Yes. There was a platform where entrepreneurs were discussing over the fees, the increase in fees by council. And I engaged. And in fact, I need to follow it up. I'm happy that PP ORI is here with me, should remind me to follow up with council. The local government. I actually spoke to the minister there. I spoke to the PS there to make sure that we revise these fees for our SMEs. And I'm very strong on this point. This is why we are coming up with a law to protect this. The first ever law to protect the entrepreneurs in Zambia. I don't want, when I come up with the law, then I'll conflict with local government. Because my law, to protect them, I'll say, we will only give you in the act, which we now consulting and we're coming up with, there will be only one license within this bill. There will be only one license for what? For entrepreneurs.
That caters for everything.
Caters for everything. Fire,
health, everything.
Healthy, whatever business levy fees, only one. You pay 1,000 kwamana until next year. That's what we're proposing. But then I need to go and also look at the law, which is governing local authorities over the fire, over the health. So I must now chat with them and say, this is what we propose to protect our SMEs. Can you also come in line with us? Bring in that, they only be paying one. So when you go there, you only find one certificate. There is fire in there. There is business levy in there. And there is health in there. So I am with you, Nyerenda. I'll follow up with the local government because it's not me who should say, okay, don't pay. Because there's a law which is governing them to collect these fees. But I am their voice, the voice of the SMEs, to make sure that the councils, even now, I don't want councils to be closing shops for our entrepreneurs. I disagree with you, whoever is doing that. And I'll follow it up as Minister for SMEs in the country.
All right, thank you so much, Honorable Minister. I'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for coming through. This is where we come to the end of the program. Up next, we do have the news brief. Just after that, we get into Wednesday's edition of Our Lifestyle with Chupo. Thank you so much, everybody. Facebook viewers, everybody that called in and texted. Thank you so much. Join us on Friday for another exciting edition of Chatback. Good morning.